Hi traders, Shane from GMT Futures FX. Welcome. Video recap. What I wanted to do is take you through the Euro US dollar over the last couple of weeks or last 2 weeks. We're going to have a look at it on the cycle trade, and we'll have a look at it on the trend trader as well. So for those of you who are wanting to get into trading the currencies or are already trading the currencies and not really having too much luck or success, this is really going to give you an idea of what you can potentially do with currency trading, and particularly with the Renko charts and this V2 Elite, because it's a great way of looking at the charts and cleaning up price action and giving you a very clear way of getting into the market and taking a lot of the risk out of trading, obviously with our position sizing model, and also having clear entry and exit. So I'm going to take you through that now. Okay traders, so just looking at the charts here, we've got the Euro US dollar Renko 0.005 on our Forex. So what we're looking for, the initial trade setup here is a long, it pushes up in it with our cyan candles, but we get taken out on a trailing stop. Then we go into a short setup, and you can see here that we look as though we're going to break down, but it's not to be, and then we bounce from about 131.90, and then we get that nice push up, and then we start to see some potential cyclical activity. So we lose our white bricks, which basically tells us that we're possibly going into some range type cyclical activity. And once we get the confirmation of that with our dynamic resistance, then we've got our first trade setup. So there's our first trade setup, and it's a short. Now our trade sets up on a close of that first red brick, and you can see here that doesn't really go anywhere, and we actually get stopped out at break even. Once we see the support line set up, which is here, that sets up our initial dynamic support. That's a buy opportunity, telling us that we're in cyclical activity and that this is starting to get a little bit rangy, and then we need to convert from a trend trading strategy to a cycle trading strategy. So the Renko does a really good job of cleaning up price activity, but the Renko, the V2 Elite, also shows you when you should be changing your strategy. So we've got a clear change of strategy here. So we're buying here, and just the buy sets up there at 132.49, so 132.50, just above that level there, because +2 for the spread. And then we get a long set up there that delivers around about 30 pips, and then because we've got dynamic resistance setting up and we're in this cyclical activity, it tells us that we shouldn't be looking for a trend trade opportunity. So we're only looking to cap our targets based on range type trading, and we get that sell set up there, and that delivers 20 points. You can see the sell opportunity once the red brick closes below that dynamic resistance line, and then again it transitions back beautifully into a buy setup. Dynamic support there, dynamic support comes in at 132.59, and that gives us 15 pips, and then we push up to again dynamic resistance. So you can see it's doing a really good job of tracking dynamic support and resistance during this this price cycle activity, and you can see there that that sells and gives a bit bigger. So the ranges are starting to expand now down to 30 pips, and then we get the buy set up here at 132.45, and again positive 35 on that trade, taking it out at 132.80. So that's a really good example of where the V2 Elite dynamic support resistance works beautifully. You transition from the potential trend trading strategy into cyclical. Now we know that at some point this is going to break out, so we're prepared for that, and we get a sell here. It delivers another 40 points, or sorry, another 40 pips, and that hits that buy support line, and then we're buying again. Now this is where we get our loser, so -20. But if you tally this up, these results up, so traders, if we tally up that period of cyclical activity, we end up with about 170 pips. Now that's not even trading with the trend traders, so we know that the trend is going to deliver more profit than that, and that's just a nice little capture during that period of consolidation. And then you can see that we get a couple of small breakouts, but nothing major. But if we stroll across the charts here to our next big breakout, because we get another period of cyclical activity where the cycle trader does reasonably well, and then eventually breaks out here, has a small loser here, and then it delivers this monster breakout which we had on Friday, which delivered around about 140 pips minus your loser on the cycle trader at 20. So you would have ended up with around about 120 pips out of that move as a combined cycle trend trader strategy. So really good to combine the two. It's an effective way of managing your risk, and also taking advantage of that cyclical type activity when that occurs. Traders, thanks for your time. If you want to become a high performance currency trader with the V2 Elite Renko trading, then all you need to do is email info@gmtfutures.com, and please feel free to just outline that you're interested in the V2 Elite Renko trading, and we'll send you all the information, the information pack on how to become a V2 Elite Renko trader. Now remember that these systems run in automation as well. Strategies, you can manually trade them, but that's the advantage of trading with the Renko Elite. So thanks for your time, have a great day, and don't forget, if you want to become a V2 Elite trader, please email info@gmtfutures.com. Cheers.